Right, back in the shed, and it's bloody freezing, so the heat is spraying flat out, trying to get the place warm. But what I'm going to do before I start much more on the cooling system, I'm going to work some out with this fuel tank. So my plan is, I think I'm going to make a square tank to sit in there between that pipe and the engine. Now, I'm thinking square because I'll be able to get a little bit more fuel capacity purely because the outlet is so high up and the inlet's not very far down. So I'm thinking if I make a square one, I can put the inlet right in the very bottom corner and the outlet on that side of the square. But I might even make it sort of, I said in the last video, T-shape, but it sits in there slightly so it holds it side to side. But first job is just to take this one out of the way, and I'll save that for the Mr. RH. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it out of cardboard first. So I'm thinking that pipe there will bend out a bit. There's flex in that pipe, so if I'm thinking I might make it the same width as the engine, which looking down there is 22 inches, which would mean it's sat on this top nice. If we go centre to centre with the bolts, it's roughly 22 inches, and they've been able to put some nice little tabs on the end here to screw it down with. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut a piece of cardboard first. That's 22 inches wide, and looking off this, off the trolley, the return there is 6 inches high, so the tank probably wants it 7 inches high. So I'm thinking 22 by 7 to start with. I'm going to cut just this side, but I might actually cut it 22 by 9, which will then give me a little drop in here, because I have got a little plan which can get just a little bit of extra capacity, so I'll do that out of a piece of cardboard now. Quick interruption. Thank you for watching this far, and thank you to all those who have already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe below. It would help the channel grow massively. Now back to the video. Right, now flash. So square edge, so 22 inches. By 9 inches. So the top's near enough square. 9 inches there. 9 inches there. Right, so that's that. And then what I'll just do, so the width between the woods is 17 inches. So 22 to 17 is 5. So that's 2.5 inches each end. it would be sat in. And I said I wanted it 7 inches high plus another 2, so that would then bring us up 2 inches. It's the most accurate tool I've got. Steel rule. Steel rule. So 2 inches up would take us to there. I do need a big tidy up in here, but I am waiting for some weather when I can spend just a bit more than 10 minutes outside without absolutely freezing myself to death. It's not very pleasant at the moment. So that's that. Let's go. It's roughly square, is that? So that one's chopping out. That one's chopping out. So now back to the trusty spirit level, because I know that's straight. Hopefully, come away. Right, let's do that a little bit by hand. I am rushing a bit because if I'm going slower, I don't think I'm able to feel my fingers. So that gives me a rough idea of principle, what size the tank is going to be. Right, so if I work off that to sit in there, so that pipe will bend. I could go in there. Now, the idea of this little well is that I can put a drain in the bottom to drain any fuel out. It's going to be sat for a long time. Go on, stand up. So as you look at that, that's not sat in bad position. And if you look at the outlet as well, that's not going to be not ideal to see. It's not going to be sat in bad position either. Just go from this side. Nicely down from the top. So I think I'm going to have to do like a bit of maybe an extension or something there or something, but yeah, that there's no more stretch left in that. And if I work off that, that's tight up. So there's still like a 2-inch gap. So I have got something to work out with that. I have seen a fitting where it's been done with like a fuel tank filler and return all in one on a photo of one of these before, so I'm tempted to see about doing something like that. So I might shave a couple of inches off top of the tank, which I've gained down there. So what I need to work out now is a width between there and then from that pipe down, you see, to go into there. Sorry, so I can't come any further more that way. So it gives me a width there. That'll give me the side here, and then what I'll do, I'll make the other two and come up with a rough pattern. Right, this is all fag packet stuff, but I've just jammed that up to give me an idea. If I work off that touch in there If I work on a 9-inch width, that should give me a inch clearance in the pipe and the tank. So I want a 9-inch strip from there, 2 of them for each end, and then another one of them, and I'll tape it all together and see how I get on. So I'm doing, lost my mark now, just getting it so that's the profile of the side of the tank. Just put the square edge against there, and this is just going to be for the bottom. Just using the square just to get a bit of a fold on it, so that it when it plays ball, it'll fold into shape. Just run the knife just down them just to make them more definite. That's when you go right way. So that goes like that, that goes like that, that folds underneath. Right, let's taper up. Give me a bit of an idea of how it's going to look. A bit of gaffer tape. It's my first time anything like this. Usually I just go, take it and go, can you make one of these? Because I've got something to work off. This time, I'm going to work it all out. Come on. Because I've no patterns, no nothing, basically. It'd probably be a bit easier if the cardboard wasn't bloody damp, like everything else. Oh, helping my hands once are freaking cold as well. Right, so coming along, I'll stick some up for that side as well. Build that bit up, and I don't know if that bit's wide enough. Nope. I'll cut another piece out of that, and I'll have that taped up as well. Right, that I think is not a bad first start for a basic tank. I'll just put that bit of cardboard in the middle, brace it. Probably want one anyway because I bet it whap. Just to give it some sort of strength to cardboard. Yeah, let's drop it on. Let's have a look and see what it looks like. Right, I've whipped the fuel tank off, the temporary one. So let's try that. So it sits nicely in there. Let's just bend that pipe because that's ever so bendy. And carefully just nudge this up so it's about half an inch off the engine, so I don't want it touching. It's looking bad. Let's clamber on the other side. It is a bloody clamber now, as you can see. So that's tied up to the bench. That's tied up to the wall, excuse the mess. That wheel, that's like shoved that way so I can make room at door end at garage, but then shove that way to get out. So it's a case I have to climb over here and down into here. So I was saying, creaky knees. So that could be pulled down into the bottom corner of there. Let's get the camera to focus quite comfortably. Which then, if I use a fitting off a Lister A tank, they have a little widget in. So then what I can do, I can come across there, and down into the sump there to draw fuel out the bottom of there. And then that is still too far away, and it won't move any closer. Just looked at the pipe. I've still like 2-finger gap between the tank and that. So what I have seen is I could make the tank say that much lower. I don't know how much difference that would make with fuel, because I only have sort of that much. Let's take that bungee out of the way. Keeps focusing on the bungee. It's better. Wide angle, I don't feel this far away. So I could bring it down to somewhere there, chop it off. Don't know what difference that would make from the 9-inch. Well, I haven't got 9-inch because I'd only have to be able to fill it to somewhere there anyway. So I could bring the height down by a couple of inches and then get a fitting made, which is a filler top in the top there with a return in the side of it. So if I do that, I could then mount that on top of there. So that sort of comes in there. The filler's somewhere here. It just means I'd have to fill it in this corner, which might be a bit awkward. But then, equally, they did have 2 tops on all the time, so I could just put a normal top in this corner, or in the middle here somewhere, just to even it out, make it a bit better. But with that pump somewhere there, put these bungees back up again. Try and do it one-handed. Oh, I'm just going to have to put the phone down. Definitely not a one-handed job. Doesn't help it's freezing. If I square that up, that's loose on that shaft as well. It's missing a grub screw, so I have a little bit of adjustment there to get that set right. So the more I think about it, I'm just going to drill the holes for this and put it in there, and then sort of worry about this fitting afterwards. But I know it wants to be somewhere roughly there. And ideally it could do with an elbow and a little bit of pipe between, rubber pipe, just take the shock out the two. Yeah, that's right way, that way. And then that one, say 90 again. Can either do the 2 sharp 90s and just put a pipe put in between, or a 90 and a 90 and bring it this way around. I ain't sussed that yet. But I wanted to get some sort of idea of a fuel tank sizing, roughly. Have a bit of play. I'm thinking it wants. I quite like the idea of having a little well in the bottom. They catch any nasties. Yeah, particularly not being a round tank, it ain't got anywhere for them to settle. So if I had a little well in like that, it'd be ideal. It's just this fitting here, which is going to be a little bit of an headache. But I think I have one of them fittings, one of them threads, so I can probably get something knocked up. So yeah, champion right. I'm a bit stuck for jobs. I ain't got enough round bar, but I drilled. The other day I drilled this stud out because this one's broken off. So for this this chock here, so there's going to be an angle bracket there, and there, screwed on with bars, rods that's going to come up, probably just drop into these holes. So just bend them up and over to hold it in. I'm waiting for postman Pat to come to bring my mesh. So the way I worked that out was, I got my spirit level. It was a 2-man job, but just shuffle my hands. So I'll put it on that end like that, but actually on the underside of that fitting. And then I plumbed it level like that. And then what I did, I got the tape measure. I measure from this edge here, went up over that, and down to that edge over there. So I used one length of tape to go up and over, and just bent it over the top of the spirit. Because I know that top pipe is usually a pipe's depth just lower than this, because the mesh is £37 roughly a square metre. So actually for this tank this way, and I'll put you on the tripod to be able to explain it better. There you go. Right. So this way, the full length of the tank is 3 foot full length, which is 91 centimetres, so 910 mil. So it comes in metre wide strips. So you can only order a metre, so it'll come just wide in the tank. So it'll have to be trimmed that way anyway. Then what I did, I got the spirit level, bent the tape measure like this, and then actually worked it that a metre is there. So a metre is actually higher than that pipe, but it's got to obviously sit inside of here. So that's what this was for, to work out where the level is from there right through. So I've ordered a metre by a metre, which will do that piece. And then I've ordered another metre square, because my end type, isn't meshed in on the end. You get Ricky's TJs, and another one I've seen, it's meshed in on the end. So I've got another metre square, which will do that and that basically, so up and over. So this isn't half a metre square. So if I chop that in half, I'll have enough then. So I'll have 4 separate pieces. They'll be roughly half a metre square. And I think this area works out to around about 1/4 of a metre square, but you have to buy it in metre squares. So the material for this was like 70 quid. Stainless steel woven wire mesh. The original stuff is galvanised. You can't get galvanised stuff anymore, so I have to use next nearest thing, so it's stainless. But I'm waiting for Postman Pat to bring that. So yeah, I'm stuck really, because without the mesh, I can't work out how to fasten the corners on. So I think there are angle irons plates with tin riveted to the outside. To the outside, the inside, I can't remember, but I need all of it at the same go to make a start. So what I'm going to do at some point, I'm going to go to the shed, look at what the frame's made out of. I know there's a piece of sort of 10-ish mil, maybe more than that. Maybe more than 10 mil, it'd be more 20, 25 mil thin plate, which comes off this piece, is then bent up, lays on top of it, round the top pipe, and down the other side. So that sort of clamps the top pipe, each end. I need a length of pipe across the middle, a female socket for this end, and a bung. So that's what they always had on this end, was a socket and a bung. Then that end, that's rubber pipes between the engine and the tank, so that's easy enough. It's just mainly what elbows I need for the exhaust under up underneath, and then the water pump, getting the right adapters and that sort of stuff. But I need to work out what's happening here. So I've got these bolt holes. I have drilled one out. I have a sneaky feeling I'm going to have to drill that next one out there, because I probably want that one for bolting something to it. Bloody typical. But they're half inch width, so they're easy enough to do. That one won't tap running through it if I do. Them two are actually alright. The 4 corner ones I've done, just in case. I'll make these out of 10 mil bar. I don't think I have any, but I know 10 mil bar looks right, particularly on the cooling tanks, not screen tanks. So I use 10 mil bar, and then I'll probably use, I think it's 25 again. It's 20 or 25 mil. think it's 25mm plate roughly, by I think it's 4mm thick. Bend it at an angle, 90 degree, 2 screws in it and a hole in the top, and screw that to the side of the rail, and then hold the tank down. There's a lot of little jobs. This is a massive job getting this right, because this will make or break it really. If this looks right, the whole thing will look right. The pump will be a bit of an headache to get right position, but because of that grub gear on the shaft and the grub screw missing, I can sort that. These rods are a faffy job, but it's not a difficult job. What else? Oh, socket for underneath. So I need a plain socket, female socket, and then a bung for that underneath so I can drain the tank. Then I've got the tank to paint by doing the paint of the tank, so I've got that fitting in the right place. That's painted inside and outside. So yeah, I've enough work to do, really. I've got them tops. I need some more nuts for them. I ain't ordered any of them yet. The ones I've got are wrong or knackered. Yeah, steering system. I've got the steering bar to straighten. That'll be a fair job. But yeah, we're getting there. I think if we get the fuel tank made, that'll be a big bit done, really. I was going to have a tackle that myself and have a go. Tackle that myself and have a go at bending a bit of tin, get some sort of mil thick plate or half a mil thick plate. However, I don't know right now how thick you make them out of, but finished plate, bend it up, TIG the corners, and then if you TIG the corners, then they'll be held, and then solder the corners. But if I solder it all, it's a case of juggling it all while I hold it, but not getting too much heat. Where if I can TIG it on the inside and then clap the lid on. I don't know, I can just give it to my friend and pay the money and let him do it. It'll be done in a week. The more I think about it, it sounds a lot better option. So yeah, it's coming on. But yeah, next job, I'm blathering now, is literally waiting for postman part. I can't do any more on the fuel tank. It's too cold for doing anything else. I haven't got the material for doing this. So I'll be back when I've got all my bits and bats to then start tackling this job. So next time you see me, it'll be hopefully Patla bean, and be able to get stuck into it again. I'll get some material on me way around this week for the rods. Get the rods worked out. So probably that's the next job actually. While I'm in here, I'll get a cut list of metal I need. I think need rods, sort of bar angle iron for this. So that's probably going to be my next job actually. Thinking about it is I'm going to get a cut list together. That won't be very exciting to film. And yeah, hopefully I'm doing a bit more engineering next time we come. Right, here's the next bit. Right, I've had a little trip out to the shed. Like I say, I'm a bit stuck on what to do next. So it's as I thought, it's angle iron welded together, finished stuff, down to a frame. It's basically an angle iron frame, right round. Well, angle iron in the corners, that's flat bar across there. And these are just literally this mesh is just sandwiched in between flat bar. So I'll measure, and then obviously I hope when I get this stuff there'll be some more that I can use for this. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll measure all this plate is used because it looks like a good fit. And that's bolted on, but I might just have a look what's under there. I think that's just, if I remember right how I did mine, I just drilled a lot of holes in that and did like a little splash plate on top that it falls onto, but I'll have a look how this one works. This one works really well. So that's the plan. I'll do that while I'm here. Oh, and then as I said, that goes up. Just round there, but what I might do in mine is go up, round, and back down here. Because I think that's how the original ones were done. And I said with that end, it's a socket and a fitting. Just cap that end off nice. So I'll measure all that up and then that'll give me the rest of my cut list. Right then, I've been to the shed, measured up. Fitted one of these, so that's an original tank bracket. So I'll go on there nice. I'll just make 6 more. So I've got that one to copy off. And then I've had a bit of a prattling about with some piping. So what I've done, cut the bottom off this ever so slightly, put this fitting on, and then I've dug around in all my fittings down in shed under bench and found that nice elbow which lines up just about perfectly with that. And then I found an elbow for there which then swings that over. And the plan is I'm going to probably get this socket, well, fitting in socket, and go through inside of here, but then weld this socket on the inside, so then that'll be poking through like that, somewhere near that, and then I can get a bit of rubber pipe on it. So I'll have a bit of rubber pipe in between there, and all the pumper rigged up, so I'll decide finally when I'm going to drill that. My cardboard box, oh yeah, cardboard box fuel tank, just put that back. So I found some fittings that might overcome the gap, so it's not quite in the right place, but that's off the bottom of a carburetor. Now whether I can get a fitting to screw into there or not, to fasten onto this to screw that to it, I don't know. But then, bottom of here, this is off an AB tank with a bend, so I can just, whatever, get about 1.5 fingers depth underneath it, so that way if there's any water it should settle. Oh crap, not water, because water floats. And then that through there, so I'm hoping the pump will suck uphill. I think if we get enough head of fuel, it should work. So then if I just put a normal top on there, I don't have to get a really expensive fitting made that's got that piece in it basically. I can just get a normal sweat on top, which I've got. So I think I'll go and take that and see if we can get someone to make a copy of it and use these fittings. Whether you can put that in or not, I don't know, or something like it, but it needs something like that to just bridge that gap. So that wants to be right in the corner really. That wants to be a bit further. Oh, that wants to be a bit further down, probably into this corner. It's all just like rough knocked up. So, and then I'll strip that because they're only just screwed in loose. So that'll probably go in another full turn, which will drop it slightly, so they'll be more in line. Normal piece of exhaust pipe will go on there. Not exhaust pipe, sorry, radiator hose, and an old piece will go in there with some jubilees. So I've got that to drill. What I'll do, I'll see about getting a brooch for the mag drill. I think if I get a brooch, I'll be able to get one roughly that size and just slot it in. I did think if I get a piece that's threaded a real long way and then wind a nut or something onto the outside, but if I put that on the inside and weld it, it'll be fine. So that's what I'll do. And then I've got this, again, still to doctor. But yeah, I think that's enough for tonight. Yeah, so I'll take that out, go and get one of them made out of tin. I thought about doing it myself, but can't be bothered. Yeah, can't be bothered. Well, I can be bothered, but I don't know how to particularly bend steel very well, and I know if I take it to be done, it'll be all done nice. So I can probably get this end reset in or something to make it look real pretty. Something like that. So anyway, it's not my job.
someone else's. So, yeah, pipe works nice. And I've just got a bloody monstrosity of crap kicking about now, so I need to have a right tidy up. So that'll probably be my next job. But that's enough for tonight. It's Sunday and I'm just going to get my tea.